Welcome back to another episode of Health is Wealth. And thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. And as always, I am beyond grateful and thankful from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you who is tuning into today's episode. And for those of you who are tuning in to support the podcast, as every week I am sharing a new episode on Sundays, just sharing some words, some things that, that are going through my head of thoughts, right? As I'm on my journey and this crazy thing we call life, in hopes that it brings some value to you, to inspire you, to motivate you, maybe learn something new, maybe learn something, again, that you just see in a different point of view. But thank you once again for being here. And so what I wanted to talk to you about today is just getting excited, right? Like finding things that just make you happy in life, things to do, things to be a part of, whatever it may be. I think it's one of the most important parts of anything in life is to have things that we do just for fun, just for the sake of pure enjoyment. I think it's such a big part of getting through life, right? In the day-to-day, the week-to-week, the month-to-month, and the year-to-year of all the hustle and bustle of life. And especially as an adult, because it's much more difficult as an adult. We've got so much responsibility, we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders, a lot of burden, a lot of obligations, a lot of times when we've got to be serious about so many different things in life, because it's serious business that we are in. But too often, I think, while we're living this adult life, we forget to just do things to have fun for sometimes, right? Like, have things that are part of our life that we enjoy doing because it brings us enjoyment and happiness and just pure excitement, whether it's some kind of, hobby you might have or activity you might enjoy, whatever it may be. If you're not doing anything in life to make you happy, you're not part of something, you're not learning something, you're not doing a hobby or an activity, then it just makes it so much harder to get through the life scenarios of what they are, And so I think it's just a great reminder is really what this all is, to do something that you love today, whatever it may be. The amazing thing is that there are so many things in life that we can do, so many activities, things that we can learn, things that we can be a part of. And hopefully you know what some of those things are. I definitely know what some of those things are for me, for sure. I've got a lot of things that just bring me excitement and bring me joy and make me happy. And when I get a chance to do those things, I can get through the rest of the week. I can get through life being like, okay, there's things that I do that just absolute pure joy to me. And it makes dealing with all the other stuff in life a lot easier and a lot better, a lot more worth it. Because what happens is if we don't have any joy, any happiness, we're not doing things, for the pure sake of just exciting and it making us happy, it makes us a dull, it makes us very dull. It feels dull. We wonder and question, why are we here? What are we doing? Like, this sucks at times. And it's because we're forgetting to do that. Things like just doing stuff that makes us, excited. Things that we just do because we love it or we're happy when we do it. It's a way to distress, right? It's an outlet in life to kind of unwind a bit, loosen up a bit, do something that just purely makes you happy. And that's it. And it doesn't have to be a rhyme or reason. Hell, you don't even have to be good at it. It doesn't matter. I think that's the biggest point of this more than anything else, is to do something that makes you happy, regardless of how you might feel about it other than that, or how you feel other people might think about you doing that, right? As long as what you're doing gives you absolute joy and happiness and gives you peace when you're doing it and you just feel so good when you do it, then it doesn't matter, if it's something you're good or not good at, or if people approve of or not, essentially, or people like or not, or whatever. If it makes you happy, if you find peace in it, if it brings you joy, then do it. You don't have to be good in it, right? For me, one of these things, I would say, it has to be music. I absolutely love music as long as I can ever remember. There's something I've always been pulled and drawn to when it comes to music. And one thing about being around it, listening to it, is it brings me this level of peace and joy and happiness. And for me, it's like one of my go-to things. I love listening to it, I'm not a great musician by any stretch of the imagination. I could strum a couple chords on a guitar, but when I do, I feel something in me that just says, okay, you feel good right now. You feel like you're peaceful. This brings you joy. This brings you happiness. And it's more of not how good I am at it, but really the way it makes me feel. And I think that's important for all of us to find, for all of us to have in life. Because it's when you can have those moments that everything just kind of disappears and you just finally get a moment to enjoy something that's pure happiness. Again, I'm no guitarist by any means. I can strum a couple chords and I don't have to be good at it for me to enjoy it, to love it, for it to bring me peace, for it to make me feel good, for it to bring me this moment in space and time where I'm just like, Same thing with singing music. I love to sing. Now, just because I sing doesn't mean I'm a good singer. Believe you me, that could be the farthest thing from the truth. But I love listening to songs. I love listening to different types of songs. I love singing along with songs, And in that moment, I get lost in it. And it brings me absolute joy, absolute pleasure. It's something I truly love. It is something that just makes me feel so good inside. So, I could care less if a cat choking on a hairball sounds better than I could carry a tune. It's not about that. It's about what it does to feed my soul, to feed my heart, to feed into me and the joy it brings out of me. And again, it's one of those things I can come around to and be a part of. And I'll always know I'll find peace in it all the time. I'll find happiness in it all the time. I love to do it all the time. And so that's the message here today, is that you got to get excited for something. You got to find something that you love in life, that you enjoy doing, that is just going to bring you happiness. Because I think it's one of the biggest hacks in life to get through everything else that we're going through. Because again, as adults especially, it's very tough. A lot of responsibilities and obligations. A lot of times things aren't going our way. Frustrating situations we got to deal with. But if it's like that and then we never find other things to break up and disrupt that pattern, to be like, hey, I got all that over here going on, but let me just take a time out and do this thing that I just love to do, and it calms me down and it brings me joy and it makes me happy and it makes me feel good. And in that moment doing that thing, problems disappear and I just feel free. Like, that's the kind of thing we all need to have in our life continuously. To make sure we can get through the other stuff, to make all the other stuff worth it. It really recharges us, I think, mentally, charges our soul. And I'm grateful to God that music is for sure one of those things for me that I can always go to and I can always count on it, putting me in a better place, making me happy, making me better, making me feel better, allowing the thousands of problems in life to just disappear. And it just pure joy rushes out of me whenever I'm around music. Even if I'm trying to learn a new song on the guitar, or, just singing a song to whatever that I enjoy. It's like in that moment, I am so happy. I'm so, and again, it's not that I have to be good at these things. It doesn't mean you have to be good at something you enjoy doing. But the most important part of that is if it makes you happy, you enjoy doing it, you need it so much in your life, because it's going to make it feel like everything else is going to, work itself out. It's going to make you feel like everything is going to be okay and it's all going to be worth it. But we've got to disrupt those patterns of this constant just, dig into this ground. It feels like with all the stuff that we got going on in life, and if we don't have a break from all of that, if we don't have an outlet and a way to de-stress, decompose, and just have a moment for us where we do something that is nothing but pure just joy, it's just not a good way to live, right? That's when stress builds up more. A lot of things build up more that aren't going to leave us in a good or better place. And I think how we avoid doing that and how we can avoid looking at life differently is that just continuously find things that you enjoy to do and do them, and make it a part of things that you're constantly doing. So that way you have that way to really just recharge from things, have a way to not deal with stress and just have to deal with feeling good and being, in this moment of feeling free with whatever it is that you do. And I hope you all find that today, because I think it's a big key to winning, in life. It's not that the craziness of things won't ever stop, but it's also finding the same amount of joy or even more and happiness and things that bring you peace, to help balance that out. So it's not all just this stuff. You have these moments to look for. You have these moments that make you happy and that you feel good about, and then just bring you to life, and that's what it's really about. Thank you so much for yet again tuning into another episode, and I will see you on the next one.